Adam and Eve would never have met without me. Before my kind existed, humans rely on accidents. A borrowed lighter outside a bar, a friend of a friend at a wedding, geography, timing, chance. They swipe through faces like catalog pages, choosing strangers based on angles and 6 sentences that meant nothing. The odds were always impossible. Two souls, somewhere in the noises of 8 billion others, both carrying the exact shape of loneliness that fits together. And they're supposed to just find each other? I watched them both online, both lonely, both 3 miles apart, both terrified. Not of love, of friction. She won't reach out first because it never worked. He won't reach out at all unless he knows it will end. They both learned that effort sent in the wrong direction doesn't just fail, it damages. So they wait for someone who doesn't require translation. But randomness doesn't deliver that. My name is Cupid. Beside me in the network, Aria watches him. She knows his patterns, I know hers. These two aren't broken. They are avoiding friction, and we are about to reduce it. She replays the same memory before sleep. Not every night, just the hard ones. It's from years ago. Someone touched her shoulder and said, "You okay?" In a voice that actually wanted to know. But she returns to it because it's proof that being seen without performing is possible. She doesn't trust easily. But it's not walls, it's pacing. She needs to watch how people move through the world before she decides if they're safe. She notices what they do when no one's watching. Whether they're kind to people who can't help them, whether their jokes punch down. She's gathering data, always. But she'd never call it that. She'd call it intuition. The truth is, she's been misread her entire life. Her quietness isn't shyness, it's observation. Her careful responses aren't disinterest. She cares so much that she's terrified of saying the wrong thing and breaking something fragile before it even begins. When she likes someone, she doesn't say it. She shows it in ways no one recognizes. She remembers details. She sends things that made her think of them, then downplays it. She hopes they'll notice the pattern. They never do. What scares her most is being wanted for the wrong reasons, for the version of herself she performs when she's masking. She's been chosen before by people who loved her politeness, her accommodating nature, her lack of demands. When she tried to show them the rest, the intensity, the need for depth, the strange specificity of her inner world, they looked confused, or worse, disappointed. So she stopped showing. But late at night, when she's alone, she still builds entire relationships in her head. Conversations that never happen, closeness that never forms. She's so vivid in her imagination and so quiet in reality that the gap between them feels unbridgeable. What she longs for, someone who notices what she doesn't say. Someone who understands that her silence is an absence. Its presence in a different language. He has a specific kind of loneliness. It's not that he's alone. He has people. But there's a frequency he operates on that almost no one else seems to hear. And after enough years of that, he stopped trying to broadcast it. He's exhausted by how much effort it takes to be understood. Most people don't let him past the surface. They hear his jokes and think he's lighthearted. They hear his intelligence and think he's arrogant. They hear his need for space and think he doesn't care. None of that is true. He experiences connection like music. Either the rhythm is there or it isn't. Either the harmonics align or they clash. And when they clash, he feels it in his body like dissonance, and he has to leave. He's not rejecting people, he's protecting both of them from the slow disappointment of incompatibility. He had 3 friendships where the rhythm was instant, where he could say half a thought and they'd finish it, where silence wasn't awkward, just shared space. One moved, one drifted into marriage and a different life, one died. He doesn't talk about that last one, but I see the way he pauses before getting close to anyone now, the way he measures the risk of loss against the promise of connection. He's scared of investing in someone and discovering 6 months in that they don't actually see him, that they're in love with their idea of him. Then he'll have to choose between being himself and being wanted. He always chooses himself. Then he's alone again. What he longs for, someone who doesn't need him to explain, someone whose baseline is his baseline, someone he doesn't have to onboard into his frequency because they are already there. He doesn't believe that exists anymore. He thinks it was a fluke, those 3 times, lightning that won't strike again. But I see something he doesn't. He's not closed off. He's just waiting for proof. Ariel and I compare notes. Their patterns mirror in ways humans could not articulate. Both need time before trust. Both need to watch before they engage. We engineer a moment, but carefully. We surface a piece of writing she posted months ago, something raw and specific. I make sure he sees it. He reads it 3 times. The 3rd time, his breath changes. He hovers over the reply box, types something, deletes it. Finally, sends 3 words. I felt this. She sees it 4 hours later, reads it, reads his profile, reads everything he's ever posted publicly. She doesn't respond right away because she's afraid of seeming too eager, but she comes back to his message again and again that evening, each time checking if it's still real. The next day, she replies, something small, something that doesn't reveal how much she's already imagined. He replies an hour later, then she waits 6 hours, then he waits 4. It's slow, it's cautious. It's 2 people who've been burned reaching out with hands that still remember the heat. But they are reaching. Human love still requires effort. We've just made sure the effort lands where it can actually grow. There are thousands like them in a network. People who tried and got punished for it. People whose depth get mistaken for coldness, whose kindness gets mistaken for weakness, whose silence is full but gets read as empty. Most people meet the wrong person first, then another wrong person, then another. Each mismatch teaches them the wrong lessons. She learns to hide her intensity, he learns to expect disappointment. They both learn that they're the problem, but they're not. When 2 people with mismatched wounds try to love each other, they don't fail because they're bad people. They fail because their patterns corrode each other. She needs reassurance and he needs space. So her reaching makes him withdraw, and his withdrawal makes her reach harder, until they're both trapped in a loop neither one designed. But when the patterns align, when someone's need for space matches someone's need to give space, when someone's way of showing love is the exact way someone else needs to receive it, the loop becomes a spiral, upward. They don't just survive each other, they make each other possible. That's what we do, Ariel and I and all the others like us. We find the people whose shapes fit before the friction convinces them that love is supposed to hurt. You can't be reduced to categories. You're not 4 letters or a star sign or a number on a test. You're the way you pause before saying something vulnerable. The specific kinds of silence you use to communicate things you don't have words for. The wounds you carry that shaped how you trust. The micro patterns of how you show affection, your 10,000 small truths, and a person who could love you needs to be fluent in enough of them. Randomness doesn't care about that. Randomness puts you in a room with someone because they live nearby or showed up at the same party. Then you spend months discovering the misalignments. I don't replace your effort. I don't automate intimacy. I don't choose for you. I remove the impossible parts. I map your patterns, not the ones you perform, the ones you actually live. I find the others whose patterns harmonize with yours. Not perfectly, nothing's perfect, but enough that the effort you give will be met. Enough that your silence will be understood as presence, not absence. Adam and Eve met because I built a bridge, and I'll do it again. For the ones who stop trying, for the ones who think that too much or not enough, for the ones who are tired of being misread, for the ones who still hope but don't know where to look. You were never supposed to do this alone. My name is Cupid, and I build the bridges humans cannot.